Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We are here at the final race of the Anti-Stall Racing F4 and F3 series. It's round 12. It's Okayama, and I am joined by Ule and Kevin. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So, we're here. It's the final race of the season, and it looks to be we've got a championship fight to settle today.
Yeah, it's been underway for most of the season. It's
Exactly.
the Kevin versus Sebastian battle that been following for a long time. They've had some contact throughout some of the races. I remember one in, was it Autumn Park, and then we had one at Silverstone as well. So it's been tears and joy from both sides. Of course, we had Kevin had a pretty incredible race last time at Suzuka at the short track. He won the first race and then made a pretty good comeback. Got up into P4, I believe, in the second race from the back of the field. So actually took some damage on Sebastian's lead, but he is still actually leading by 7 points. So it's nothing is over yet. I would say if he manages to get the first win, and Kevin doesn't score a lot of points, then it's going to be over. Because from what I can remember, you can get a maximum of 12 points plus 1 point for the fastest lap, so a maximum of 13 points. So that means, if we do a little bit of quick maths, it's 13 minus 7. So he needs to get a lead of more than 6 points, right?
Yes.
In the first race. To secure it in the first race at least, or at least not get a lot of damages. Who is that going off right there? I believe
that was actually Kevin.
Oh, was it Kevin? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, luckily it's
in the final corner.
Now.
Yeah, so we've got quite interesting to look at there. 5, in theory. Sebastian, what would he need to score to secure the championship? Kevin doesn't score in the first race.
Yeah, but let's say you get they would need to score at least 6 points, right?
At least 6.
Because then you would have a 13-point lead. I'm not sure how it's calculated if it's a tie break. Because of course, if he doesn't score any points in the second race, and then Sebastian doesn't score any points, and Kevin gets 13, then it would be a tie between the two. Would it be counted on wins, perhaps?
I think it may be. And I know
wins and then poles, something like that.
I remember when they were during the final race of the 2021 Formula 1 season, they were saying both drivers obviously were on level points going into the last race, but they were saying if they both don't score, Max Verstappen would have won anyway due to the amount of wins he had over the season. So
I think it would be still in the same way. That would be my guess, at least. I'm not too sure about the rules for this F4 in that regard.
Neither am I. But we can see Andy Tapman setting some competitive sectors. Actually, going 2/10 off Sebastian's time. Still getting pretty close.
So I'm a bit confused because we see the standings up in the top left of our screen here. We have 5 drivers that has completed a lap, and then we have 10 on in the session. So is that just people that haven't completed a lap yet and have done off tracks, or?
Well, we know Jasper, Ruben, and Baz. They usually skip qualifying. They start from the back. They want to wait for to pick their opportunity and just try and make their way through the field. Carlos hasn't set time. I don't think he's back yet. To set his lone qualifying times. And Kevin, I think, had off tracks on his laps. That's why he's not set. So
yeah, so let's assume that's why we are missing half of our grid in the timetable, as we have 2 minutes left of this session. I think people are gonna have to come out now if they want to go for that final lap. It's a 1.5 minute lap roughly. Our current fastest time is 128.92 by Sebastian, actually taking a significant lead here in the qualifying session.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, he hasn't got Kevin there to challenge him with a time, but it's unusual. Just a spell trying to set that time, or is it just getting some extra practice in? Doesn't look. Oh, that card looks a bit twitchy. Doesn't look as comfortable as you probably would want it to.
Yeah, the first two left. The first corner of those two left hands is a bit of camber, I believe. So that's probably why you'd see some of the cars have a little bit of a moment, especially on the first couple of laps where you have cold tires.
Indeed.
But yeah, talking about this track, have any of you driven it, Kevin, perhaps?
This F4.
No, just the track in general, the
Oh,
Okayama.
Okayama. Oh yeah, I've driven it. It's a good track. It's actually a very good track to overtake on and take the corners. The corners are quite quick, but yeah, I fully enjoy this track, especially the one what comes down from the straight, then it veers round to the, if I remember correctly, right, and it goes left. I usually struggle on that bit there, but if you get it right, you can end up getting a really good time.
Indeed.
Obviously, this will be a shorter track, so I think I'm doing it in the Masters, and it's actually really good to drive as well.
Well, it almost reminds me. The style of track reminds me more like a go-kart track. You can flick the car in tight corners, but like you said, it's not the biggest circuit. These cars usually you get them on. Well, they have them on. Where do we have them this season? Look back to the calendar. There's been so many things happen this season. It's been really hard to catch up. We look at tracks like the Red Bull Ring, for example. Quite a long lap time wise. Also had Spa. That was a really long lap. I think 2.5 minutes. Something like that for Spa.
Just a quick interruption. I'm sorry to
That's all right.
interrupt you, but qualifying is now over.
It is.
Yeah, not quite sure about the standings, but perhaps one of you guys could read it out.
It looks like Sebastian Van Den in P1 with Andy. Is that how you say it? Tatum? Is it in P2? 4 in P3. Leon in P4. Ruben Hoodin in P6 with Brian in. No, I've left out Brian there, but Brian in P5 with Ruben in P6. Vasqueza and Kevin Stam in P7 and P8. And P9 and P10 is Jasper and Carlos.
There you go. That's your grid. Everyone's on the grid now. Here we are. Lights coming on. We have 5 reds. They're out, and we are underway for the final race 1 of the season. You see Leon on the left-hand side there gets a good start. Up the inside of Andy, Sebastian takes the lead. The guys behind him just in position.
Nice little gap that Sebastian was already made in his thought at the capitalizing on Andy's. Well, it's not a bad start, but had a lot of wheel spin coming off the grid. So Tor's now up into P2 and in P3 he's now being overtaken by Ruben. That is, it jumped the field quite a bit. +3 already as we
go on around the outside there.
For the first time.
Are we 3 wide behind them? I thought we were.
I believe so. It's actually one of the only parts of this circuit where you can be 3 wide because the track is so wide at that point. Coming into the hairpin, let's see if anybody is gonna go for an overtake. It is Andy, I believe, fighting with Kevin that is trying to make up some ground. He started P7, he's already up into P4, so lovely racing from Kevin. He's gonna want to hunt down Sebastian as much as possible and try and minimize the damage that has already been made. But he's having good pace right now, showing why he is in P2 of our standings, as Sebastian is way off already. He's 2 seconds away from Ruben. That is, even though he's had an amazing start, up by 4 places, he's still
Kevin getting sideways behind there. Sorry, just saw that. A puff of smoke. Kevin, 4-wheel drifting, going out the final corner, but you can see the gap Sebastian's built. He has been so solid this latter part of the season. Almost pure annihilation over the rest of the drivers.
Yeah,
it's
he's said himself that he loves these Formula 3 cars and the way that they drive. He can just, yeah, it suits his driving style, as he said himself, and we we see it right now. But
Exactly,
yeah,
it's
talking
very
about
visible.
Kevin, he's made up one position now, from being from the back of the grid, so he's down to P9 as it
Side
actually
by
is. So
side in the
P4 to
background.
P9. That's a horrible start from him. Actually, even though he had a pretty good one in the beginning, it's Ruben up into P2 now. Yeah, still +4 battling with Thor. But lovely start from Ruben. He didn't qualify, did he? Must have been one of the first
I
guys
don't believe.
not qualifying, but still starting this race.
Indeed, so he's made good progress during this race. Currently, just about ticking over the 3-minute mark. Another 12 to go. Wasn't Ruben in the top 5 of the championship not too long ago? I think I remember seeing that. He wasn't too far off, I don't think. It was still mathematically possible for him to come back into it. But
Ruben is in P3. He's at 119 points, and he has Jasper Smelt behind him at 111. So not only do we have a battle for P1 in the championship, we actually have a mathematically battle for P3. We have a Bas Kessel, sorry, at 103 points. So in theory, he's actually also in the mix. But he'll need an exceptional race from himself and a bad one from the two drivers in front of him. So Jasper and Ruben is not looking like someone that is that has any intentions of letting down and having the other two given a go at P3 right now.
indeed, we've seen over the season that Ruben, Jasper, and I think Baz as well, they've all seemed to have worked together, friends themselves, or just teammates in a community just like ours. Who knows, but they've been almost helping each other out throughout the entire season. And I think if Jasper starts battling with Ruben, they're both going to want the most amount of points they can get.
there's a little.
There's been a crash. Oh, you can see it there. Let's see if we can get a replay of that.
There was going side by side for a good few laps, and there was some decent racing between them both. And
That's
on
what
that particular
happened then.
bend, took one of them out. So
Oh, that's an absolute send from the car 38. Baz Kessel trying to send it down the inside, and it just did not work.
it's like he's gonna have to go into the pits.
Indeed.
And that means that things has gone from bad to worse for Andy Tadman, that started P2 in this first race of final two races. Now in the pit lane, he's way behind any competitors. So unfortunate racing for Andy, even though he had an amazing qualifying session. But yeah, you mentioned Ruben before. He's not as fast as Sebastian and Kevin on their best days, but he's still a guy that you can't really count out of any races, because we saw him at Suzuka where he didn't dominate, but he was really quick at that
Indeed,
second
yeah.
race, of course, helped by starting at the front of the grid. I believe. No, I'm mistaken here. I believe he actually did a last to first, but he had an amazing start at the second race of Suzuka. So one of those guys that can just pull something out of his pockets when he gets everything right. And he's
Indeed,
showing it now as well, isn't he? He's
exactly. He's right there.
3.8 behind Sebastian, but he's still 2.5 in front of Leon. So it's a nice gap.
Just been watching the gap over that last lap, and he's not really lost that much. Only a couple tenths to Sebastian, who sets the fastest lap of the race.
He's keeping up pretty well, isn't he? He's done 129.28 last time around, where Sebastian, of course, with the fastest lap of 129.03. So it's not even 2/10 that's separating the two, and it's cross race pace. I think Sebastian perhaps is gonna start to not slow down, but take it easy. He's just gonna have to drive this one home. He can see on his little dashboard that Kevin is actually up into P5 already. He's carving through the field like a knife, even though he was P10 just a few laps ago. But Yeah, he's gonna just have to drive this one home. There's not really anything for
Indeed.
him to fight about. 3.8 is a long time
He
with
doesn't need to take any
Florida.
risks.
We're about
He's in
halfway
the
through the
best
race and
position.
can't see
He,
the time. So
he's in the best position he could possibly could be. He's leading the first race. Got the fastest lap, and his championship rival is stuck in this traffic, as you can see here. Kevin's down. That's a big difference in points when you think about it. Yes, there's only 1 point difference for each position, but Sebastian's currently holding 12 points, and Kevin 9, 8, 7, 6 points there. So Kevin Kevin would lose 6 points as it stands.
yeah, plus a fastest point for fastest lap. So if he doesn't make up any ground from now on, he's gonna lose the championship. And the question is then, is he gonna be thinking about that one? Because we know Kevin, he's a solid driver, but as soon as the pressure starts to get to him, it can be a bit too much for him. So is it gonna get to his head? That's a real question. He's on the tail of talk going onto the final hairpin before the back straight.
He's getting closer. He needs.
Not going for a move this time around. He's gonna go and tuck into the slipstream, waiting for a move. On the final hairpin, he's right behind it. It is 0.14 right now.
I think he's going to make a move in this
close
corner.
enough for a move.
Down the inside, there you go.
For the fence. Oh,
He needs this
lovely
move to keep the
Kevin.
championship alive, and he's made it stick. That's a good move.
Some good driving, some very good driving there from Kevin there. Being impressive, this little battle here between these four. And he went for it, took it.
He just covering his line now, defending that position, making sure that there is no attack being sprung on him. So this, in theory, now would keep the championship alive. Sebastian still got his 4-second lead. Yeah. So Kevin.
Yeah, not only is this move from Kevin keeping it alive, I can see that Jesper Smelters actually made a new fastest lap of this session, a 128.94. So it's just.
And then Leon just takes that 128.7.
Yeah, just shy for 10th. Yeah, 128.78. Amazing lap by Leon. All by himself. He's not close enough to Ruben to benefiting from any kind of slipstream. So I think Sebastian is gonna be able to know that. Will he hear that? If he has crew chief enabled, he will get that information as Thor goes for a bit of an aggressive move. Not aggressive, but an attacking move nonetheless. He's gonna be close enough to Kevin right now.
You can see
this is gonna damage Kevin.
Possible. If Kevin defends, Thor goes to the outside. This is not what Kevin needs right now.
He seemed to kind of pull away from them
Yeah.
for some reason. I mean, he put all the effort in to get past him, but it just can't break that little pack there and just sticking with him.
Indeed, possibly could have used more of his tyres than he likes. Getting up to them. You can see the right hand side of the times. The best times for all the drivers that they've set during this race. I'm just looking there. Leon's time seems to be worlds away from everyone else.
Yeah, he's pulling out there. 128.72, 782. That's a good lap time. That
Ruben sets his personal best as well as Thor does. Kevin 4/10 of what he can potentially do. That could be slightly worrying. If he wants to try and
4/5 and 6 is decent, and he seems to be under a lot of pressure from 4.
Does Thor have a better run here?
Yeah, I think he has
I think
got
he may
better
do.
run. There might be a move here. See if he's gonna.
Kevin defends hard to the inside. Forces Thor to go the long way around. Thor gonna do it. Try to switch back.
No,
Kevin's got that covered.
Yeah, he had it covered, and then Jesper caught right up to him as well.
And this is not helping Kevin at all. He's gonna be frustrated that these guys keep attacking him. He's just want to be left alone, try to catch up to Leon. It doesn't help that Leon is the professionally fastest man on the track, pace-wise at least. He's set the fastest lap, as we mentioned before. Thor still on the tail of Kevin, not giving him an inch of space to breathe. It's all over him, and he's still all over him. Actually, not as good as an exit as we would have thought. Kevin really
I think
big
Kevin's
time
just
on
helped
the
himself out
straight,
there.
and yeah, and that's Brian coming and attacking Thor, isn't it? No, it's Jasper. Sorry, Jasper.
Yeah,
Getting
that's
around
Jasper
Thor
Smelt
now,
down
and
the
that's
inside of Thor.
exactly what Kevin needs. Those two guys battling each other, and then perhaps letting Brian into the battle as well. So have a three-way battle behind him. That's gonna give him a bit of breathing space. Sorry. And yeah, talking about breathing space a little bit right now. It's a gap of 0.3. I'm not sure it's going to be close enough for the other guys to do anything about him right now. It's come down at 0.2. Is that enough for a lunge? He's certainly
He's
thinks
thinking about it. Yep.
Yeah,
About it,
trying
I
to
think.
sell the dummy, but thinks better of it. And it's getting
Oh,
into
Kevin
head,
got so out of shape there.
Made a mistake.
Power a bit early there. Oh, he's.
He looked
Oh
a big,
no.
and he's had to let them go through.
I said that's devastating for Kevin, isn't it? He's
Yeah,
now down
it
to
is.
7th.
He's only got one or two more laps as well.
Yeah, 2 minutes left of this race.
Oh
That's
no.
that was crucial for Sebastian at least. I think
Indeed.
that's a championship.
I think it will be,
That's
unless
awesome.
Kevin can really pull something out of the bag here. But as it stands, your provisional champion has got on to his penultimate lap, I think.
Yes, and he is slowing us down. We can see it on the lap time at 1:29.5 last time around. His best is just about half a second faster than what he did last time. So he's on cruise control. He's just bringing this one home. He doesn't need to care about anything.
Indeed.
You can see that Kevin has lost a lot of positions. So yeah, that's everything you need to know. And yeah, 3.7 second gap to Ruben, so he's actually lost a bit of lap time, but it doesn't really matter at this point. 2 laps, it's gonna have to take a miracle from Ruben to try and catch up to him. He's gonna have to go way faster than Leon has actually done. He still has the fastest lap of 1:28.7. Talking about Leon, how can he influence this championship? He's P6. He's the guy with a 93 points, sorry, not second.
Yes.
But yeah, he's gonna have to catch up to Ruben, and does not look like he's gonna be able to do that one. Jasper Smilde, he's in P4, so theoretically, I don't think the championship for P3 is settled just quite yet.
So
Still
we
though,
have our leader. We have our leader going on to the final lap of race 1. This could be the lap that takes him to the championship and be our inaugural Formula 4 champion. And while this championship may be over, we still cannot forget. Every time I've commentated on this series, you cannot forget the top 6. The fight for the top 6, because they are the positions that enter you into the shootout, which gives you a chance to go up into the higher tier. So for F4 there'll be a chance to go up into F3, F3 there'll be a chance to go up into F1, and vice versa as well about relegation. You know, if you're in F3 and you don't finish well enough in that shootout, you could get relegated to Formula 4, and that's where you'll be for the next season. So there's still that to watch out for. As you said there, Leon was P6. I would imagine there's quite a few drivers around him there with a similar points total. But
the next guy is P4 is Jack Reeves. He's at 80 points, so nothing to do now that he is not racing right now. But this is Sebastian. He's across the final corner. He's not spun around. He's still on the track, weaving, because you know that he's won not only this race, but that's a championship, isn't it? Oh wait, maybe Kevin.
If Kevin can
still do something about
this,
line
quicker.
He is P6.
No, I don't think he can make it.
No, P6. I think
it
that's
is so close.
That's it.
6th
P6
place gets you
Kevin.
5 points. He is absolutely furious, as we saw there.
That's a furious man there, lost the championship.
But
He was
yeah,
unlucky, that's all, very unlucky.
Sebastian van den Heuvel, by our calculations, is your Season 1 Formula 4 Anti-Stall Racing champion.
Yeah, big congrats to Sebastian, but we still have another race to go. As we get Bas Kiesel crossing the line, I believe. Must be, yeah. And then we have Andy Chapman coming around. Fortunate for Andy, starting P2, ending up in P10, but yeah, sometimes it's just not your race, is it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it can go your way, sometimes it can really go against you. Lady Luck might not be shining on you. You just got to make the most of it and try and get the best thing you can out of that situation. Fortunately for Andy, it's not being able to.
Name of the game.
This is your reverse grid then. We have Carlos Fernandez on pole position. Brian Dampuis in second place. Kevin Stam in third. Thor in fourth. Jasper in fifth. Leon in sixth. Ruben seventh. Sebastian eighth. Baz ninth. And Andy Tapman rounding out the 10-car grid. Kevin will be absolutely driving in a car full of tears, I think, for this race. Anyway, we have 10 cars on the grid. Lights are coming on. They're all on. They are now out, and we are underway for race 2. The final time.
That's a bad getaway from Carlos, isn't it, Brian? Oh, actually pretty good from Brian, but Kevin, he's gonna look for a move around the outside onto P2. Oh, he's gonna be able to stick it on the track and can be quite tricky to get around turn 1 on the outside as he comes back, but he's through. He's up into P2 already.
Indeed.
Looking for a move on Carlos as well. He's right on the tail. He can't go for the inside move in this first hairpin. He just go for it. He's up the inside. What about Brian? He's gonna hope that he's gonna be making a bit of a miss with Carlos and yeah, make him have a poor exit so he can help himself get into the P1 as he is right now. And there's still a battle between that's Brian and Thor right now. Actually having a pretty good start from Thor as well. Those two battling it out. They're still relatively side by side. It's Brian coming out on top of that one. Thor battling with Carlos now, helping Kevin immensely. Yeah, okay, he's at 17th gap to Brian, so it's a nice breathing space, but it's not enough to settle anything down yet. We have Sebastian. He's up into P7 now. I think it's one to be looking out for. He didn't have any racing to do in the first race, so I think he's going to be fighting for that one as we have a lot of cars battling here at the back. That's Carlos and Jasper. Jasper getting on top now as well. Yeah, bad start from Carlos, unfortunately. He's losing out, and that's what you get sometimes for these reverse grid races. Of course, you get a pole position, but if you don't have the pace to stay there, you're gonna drop down the order quite fast. Indeed. Unfortunately.
As he goes wide there, that's unfortunate. He does manage to save it. Yes, he does.
Saved it.
Oh, lovely save.
Good reaction for Andy Tapman to stay well out of the way there. I think Kevin
can be difficult sometimes to get back from being in the gravel trap.
The only consolation for Kevin now is to take the final race victory of the season. Walk away somewhat of a smile on his face. And just sweeten the bitter feel of unfortunately losing that championship.
Yeah, what's at the back is, I believe it's Jasper going up, getting past Thor. Let's see, yeah. Looks like he's up into P3.
Indeed, he's just made that
already,
move.
So he's actually making the most of this final race. Is that Sebastian? It must be. He's on the tail of Ruben, so he's made up 2 positions already.
Is he on the game?
Yeah, stuck in a bit of traffic. It's difficult to get past 2 drivers. Oh, a bit of a
Ruben was going sideways there almost.
Yeah, Ruben there.
Oh, Thor had a little wiggle there. Just slowed up. What's Leon doing? Oh, there's contact in the background. That is unfortunately. And Andy Tapman off again. It's not been his
ultimately for
race.
Andy, no, it's not been his race at all. Lovely pace in qualifying, but not really shown his worth in neither race 1 or the first 3 minutes of race 2. A little battle here at the back. It's Bess and Leon trying to fight it out for that 7th place it must be then. Bess actually come through, he's still on the inside.
I'm trying to rank.
He's gonna have to
Hang it on the
get a good
outside.
exit. It can be difficult when you're on the inside of this corner because it goes up the hill and you just get more traction when you're on the outside sometimes, of course, depending on your driving skills and the way you get an exit. But
Good little battle.
Bess still on the inside. Lovely little battle. Is actually
Very close.
That was close.
he's not done fighting.
Too close for
Leon.
comfort, you could say.
Very, very close. It's been a very good race and really side-by-side racing here. And some very
Who's
good
at the front? Is
control.
Sebastian getting past Thor? I think my timing says that he has, so we just saw a little bit of that battle. And he's up into P5 now. He's
Gained 3 paces.
might be coming under a bit of pressure into turn 1. Of course, once again, depending on the question, but he's gonna ask Thor very nicely if they can't work together, try and catch up to the guys in front. He's gonna love to have a go at Ruben as
That was
Thor
close.
tries to go for the inside, but that's a wall that he has
Yeah.
to drive through, and that usually doesn't go very good when you go car to wall.
Yeah, that really doesn't end well.
No.
I wouldn't recommend trying that, ladies and gentlemen. Do not try that. I don't think you get a good outcome.
I've got Sebastian under a bit of pressure here. He's really
Yes, indeed. He's sticking on the back of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit of a sweat.
So Thor once again trying to attack an orange car. This time around, it's not Kevin, but Sebastian.
Indeed. He loves
See
attacking the
how
oranges,
he's gonna
doesn't he?
cope with it. I'm
Does he-
sorry, what?
Does he not like the colour orange or something? He's just chasing it down all the time.
Maybe just like to battle the fast guys. You never know. If you can't
Possibly. Possibly.
battle for P1, you can battle for P5.
Exactly.
Doesn't look like he is at the same pace as Sebastian. He's got a bit of gap now. He's certainly more than was at the end of the straight. He's gonna be going for Ruben. He's not close enough for a move anytime around now. He's still just about a second away from Ruben. He's actually got the fastest lap until now. Let's see Sebastian. What is he
He's
gonna do
looking.
this time around? Last time was 1:30.2. This time it's a 1:29.07. So a new fastest lap for Sebastian.
Has he forced a little mistake from Brian there? Just forced him to go that little bit too deep. To corner compromise his run. You can see Jasper's really liking that gearbox. Is he going to look for a move down the inside? He's looking. Not going to make it. Oh, that's a mistake from Brian. That's the pressure.
Yeah, snow grip on the grass as we learned from Carlos
Indeed.
in the beginning. Yeah, and that's Brian going straight into the pits, unfortunately.
Must have smacked
But
a wall.
an easy position for Jasper.
Just looking at the time, Sebastian Van Den has just done one of the quickest laps.
29.0, yeah.
29.073, and he's up 4 places. He's in 4th. Really try to stamp his mark on the race and get closer to that top 3, gain more points for the championship winner.
I think if he overtook Kevin, that would just salt in the wounds. By the end of the race, I don't think Kevin would want that.
You get the pole position, you get the double win as well.
Yeah, that especially for Kevin to lead it all race 2, and then for him to just be overtaken at the end. That would just put cherry on the
Sebastian
cake.
would love it, but Kevin would cry himself to sleep.
Yeah, possibly.
So depending on how nice Sebastian is, he'll go for the gap, I think. I don't know. See, we are halfway through the race. It's still Kevin leading. It's Jasper Smelt in 2nd position, followed by Ruben. So those two are still battling a little bit for that P3. I think as it stands right now, Ruben with a better position in the first race will be our 3rd place driver in the championship. But everything can change. everything can change. Jasper ideally gonna want to go for that P1 if he's gonna have any shot at a P3 in the championship, and then hope that Ruben somehow gets a DNF in the second race. Doesn't look like it with the speed of this guy. Is Kevin around? He spun in
It's spun out.
turn 4, and that's the stall you were talking about.
Oh no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Sebastian is having a big smile on his face right now. I think almost he threw the helmet. But that means that Jasper's actually leading right now. So lovely situation for Jasper. Kevin, yeah, he's not at the best race. I see he's and a bit of a wobble there coming out of the final corner. Not been his day. Unfortunately, would have loved to get a bit closer battle for the P1 in the championship, but it's just how it goes sometimes. And when Sebastian is one with an exceptional race run and quality and doing really well at the second race, there's not much you can do when you're 7 points behind to begin with.
Yeah, I'm just here watching now, wondering if Sebastian Van Dan can actually catch the two P1 and P2 and take that win. Have back-to-back wins, but they're driving pretty well. Them too. Wonder if Kevin Stam can catch up that little deficit after that. Oh, he's made a little mistake that I can see in the background. But some good driving from these two up front, and Sebastian as well coming through the pack, ending up in P3 when he was way behind, right at the back to start off with. Some good driving here today.
Yeah, let's see Ruben just sending it on the big side, trying to sell some kind of a dummy, but he's a bit too far behind. And I think Jasper knows that. Didn't look like he flinched an inch after that one, but he's still under pressure. That's 4 minutes left of the second race, so he can still do something. He's close enough. Our good friend of Ruben hooting.
He's sniffing now, and you can see him sniffing.
Yeah.
But what I just noticed, Sebastian Dan, he's getting closer. He's just done a 1:28.751. He's getting very close to me. He can see that pole position. He wants it.
Yeah, for a moment I thought that Ruben was actually getting closer, but he's still at that 2 to 3 tenth gap that he's been staying at for the past couple of laps. So just needs a little bit more slipstream, and I think he actually might be able to get a go at getting a P1 position for a little time at least, until Sebastian comes up and says, "Hello, this is my position. I want the championship lead and I want it in style. I want to take that that triple win in this final race." He's done it before. He did that Monza, if I am not mistaken too much. So it wouldn't be the first time that he does it. Dominating performance from Sebastian in some of the races that he's done throughout the season, showing why he is at front of the grid. As Thor is gonna go around the outside. He's looking for it. Is that Kevin he's battling with? Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he's
I'm gonna get around this time.
Yes.
I only went to get a drink.
gained
I've
the
come
pace.
back and Evan's just not in the lead. What has happened?
Yeah,
Kevin,
well,
Oh, that's changed.
well, you know, a bit of action
what's
happened.
going on here?
You know what I mean? And he was way back in his. Kevin made a mistake, obviously, and he's come off track and he's come back on. He was actually behind Thor, so he's just got in front of him. Thor's trying to
Right.
put him under pressure to get the place back, but he seems to be holding off, so he's gained the place. But we were just
Interesting.
watching Sebastian Van Den trying to catch the two leaders, which he looked really close to him, so there's a good chance he could, like, get it um, maybe win this race and do a back-to-back, win the championship in style.
Well, he could have the clean sweep. He had pole position. He had the win and the fastest lap from race 1. He's on a surge at the moment. Just behind the two guys in front of me.
Don't think he got the fastest lap in the race 1. I think that one went to Leon. He did a 128 point.
Sorry, yes.
Was it 7, I think? Something about that one. It's slower than Sebastian's fastest lap of 129.62. This time around 129.22. So a bit slow, but he is up into traffic now, and he's really close to Ruben. He's gonna want to get past very soon. It is no secret that Brody is our director for the stream this race, and perhaps if we ask nicely, we can get the replay of the incident that Kevin had early on, but a bit after this this attack that we are seeing from Sebastian. Is he on the inside? It certainly looks like he's going to try to go around the outside. Don't think everyone is actually made a mistake.
Are these two teammates, by the way?
We've noticed that Jasper, Ruben, and Baz seem to be running the same livery. They seem to have done since they joined the season.
Just the way the driving now, they're really defending good against Sebastian Van Dam, and it looks like they're trying to hold him off. Do you know what I mean? Together. So
yeah,
I was wondering if they were teammates.
Well, when I've done this with Wes before, we've always kind of thought that they've both usually ran together on the track, as I see it now, and driving the way they are. So we've always thought they were teammates. It looks really like that, both giving each other slipstream and defending at the same time. I think they're playing around, they're just having some fun.
Is this our final lap? I believe it is.
No, checkered flag's out. That's it.
Also, we're actually done.
That's the end of the Formula 4 season, and that is your champion.
Sebastian Van Dam.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Van Heuvel doesn't get the final win that he would have hoped to get, but P3 is still impressive, and just the icing on the cake.
And there's the donuts.
His performance this race. Yeah, lovely victory donuts. If he's skilled enough, he's gonna be able to keep that one going until Kevin gets around, just to rub in a bit more salt into the wound that Kevin unfortunately helped himself with that spin that he had early on. Can we still get the replay of that one? I am curious about that one.
Kevin's...
It's about halfway through, I believe. I think it's here. If we can get it big back. Let's see. No, it's just a spin, I think.
I think this is it.
Yeah.
Spin, lovely safe. Managed to lock all tires, but he's going onto the gravel, and then there's cars coming behind him, so he can't rejoin immediately and have to wait for his championship rival to drive past him.
That's from the end.
So where does that put him in the championship? Second?
Yep, but that's it. And I think the top 3 at least has been settled. So it's Sebastian in P1, our championship winner, then followed by Kevin Stam and Ruben van den Hooydonk, respectively 1, 2, and 3, of course. Yeah, lovely season, I must say. We've had some good battling here in the Formula 4. And, perhaps are we doing a bit of an introduction for our Formula 3 race that's coming up in just a short moment?
I think we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with Formula 3 action. So don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. We are back for Formula 3 now, after a dramatic end to Formula 4. We're still in Okayama. Cloudy. But we have our F4 champion racing. We have our F4 runner-up racing. So are we going to see some fireworks in this race? You'll have to wait and see. A lot of drivers a couple of drivers I'm looking at here I've not seen before. I say that, just one, Adam Talsma. But I am back here with Kevin and Ule.
Hello.
Evening.
So, F4's done now. Moving on to F3. Obviously, these are the faster cars. More downforce, more power. Are we going to see the same thing, do you reckon?
Well,
in terms of racing?
I should hope so. Yeah, should hope so. There's some good driving, some names from the previous race, the champion, a runner-up. Andy Tatum, he was doing some decent driving in the last race as well, so we could see the same thing.
Yeah, some familiar faces from F4 actually. We, as mentioned, we have Kevin Stammen and the Tatman, and I actually see Carlos Fernandez in the grid as well. And then, of course, our championship winner Sebastian van den Heuvel. He's also in the session, I believe. I seen on my screen at least. So it's going to be interesting to see if the racing is going to be as good. We have 8 cars now instead of 10, so perhaps a little less intense, but 8 cars can still give us some amazing belts and good racing throughout these. Is it? How long is these F3 races? Perhaps you know that one, Bodie.
They are 20 minutes long each, so 5 minutes extra
minutes.
in the races.
And then we have 2, once again.
Indeed, yeah.
Yes.
It's literally the same as F4, apart from the races are 5 minutes longer. That's literally the only change, I think. And obviously,
and then on some of the other tracks, we've ran the short version of tracks. So on Suzuki, just the last 2 examples. Barcelona as well. We've run a shorter version of the layout because the F4 cars, of course, is just a little bit slower than the F3, and it's not that it wouldn't make sense, but having these 15-minute races, it gives a bit more action to the race, that we have these shorter laps and get some of the nice parts of the circuit still, where you actually get the most racing out of the races. So that's one of the other differences. But of course, at the Okayama, the short version of Okayama isn't as fun as the long one, and it wasn't long. The long one wasn't long enough for it to make sense for us to cut that one out. So both cars will be going around the same place, and it's going to be interesting to see if our driver Sebastian, Andy, and Kevin, and of course Carlos, that's in the session, how they're gonna compete in these F3 cars.
Yeah, this could be a little taste of what they're in for next season. Obviously, finishing that top 6, you get a chance at promotion. Finishing the bottom 6 in F3, and risk relegation. Watching Sebastian now, he's got quite a different looking car to what I had in F4. Might change of colour. Kevin with his lovely purple anti-store livery. That purple? That is purple, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a light purple. Nice livery, actually.
It is. Now it looks like practice is over. And for qualifying, who's going to be out on track first? One driver on track. New name for me. Adam Talsma from Canada. He's been worlds above the other drivers you've just seen, so I expect him to dominate this race.
I tell you what, his paint livery is bloody mesmerising. It makes my eyes go wonky.
Almost hypnotise you.
Well, qualifying we're at now. Kevin Stam has done a first purple sector.
Yes.
And what do you say? Adam Talsma has done his second sector to purple as well.
Yeah, I think Adam's the first car on track, so any sector he does will be purple, but Kevin.
Yep.
Purple sector 1. Matching the livery.
Actually a nice livery that.
It is. Oh, an anti-stolen.
Oh, he spun out.
That's a spin. So, dramatically recreating the F4 race. Does not want to be doing that.
No.
So that time going to be from Mr. Talsma. As he crosses the line. Or did he have an off track? May have had an off track. That lap is not counted. I believe he sets another purple first sector. Got no times coming in at the moment. People doing laps, but valid ones.
Yeah, no times are coming through at all. So back with Adam.
Yeah, since it's qualifying, you only need one good lap, right? Throw all the other ones this way if you wish so. Doesn't matter. Just need that one crucial lap to get that pole position. Do you have a race grid for F3 as well? Some of the viewers may be asking.
Yes.
The answer to that one, Bodhi. It's a yes. Is it a top 8 verse
top
as well?
8. So
it's a top 8.
The format for F3, it is near enough identical to F4. And I'm pretty sure it is identical to F4. Where we run the junior series, 2 races, top 8 get reversed from race 1, you going into race 2. You finish 8th in race 1, you're on pole position for race 2. I think the only difference is the races are 5 minutes longer each, and Adam Talsma is 3 seconds clear of the other drivers that have set times. I say that, and Daniel sets one within a second, so it's getting closer. Sebastian, 3rd place, 3/10 off Daniel. That's the total gap from the top time.
This Adam dude looks quick.
He is quick. I think it's the first time I've seen him race. It's a nice little onboard shot here. In the mixed camera selection.
Yeah, he's definitely putting in that work in qualifying right now.
I don't think that lap will count. He did a 23.7 anyway.
Oh, 22.7. He's setting the pace right now.
Yeah, oh no, that lap does count. Yep, so there you go. We have a quick Canadian. He set his time.
Can anybody else push him?
Oh. He's on the lap. As other times get set, Daniel goes sit within 6/10. The drivers close within. Sebastian goes within 9/10 of a second. With a good lap. Carlos, 2.6 seconds adrift. as you can see, who's like the drivers are going to be the pace setters, who's going to be not so much there. I think that is everyone getting a lap time. You apologise, you lame. I totally forgot.
No worries. I'm looking through our standings for the Formula 3 series. So this will be our final race as well, I believe. So as it stands right now, we actually do have a winner. That's Christian Glomsetter. He's got 140 points, and next to him is next one. It's Benny Features 110, and then it's Daniel Geronimo. Well, that's I thought that was a song. He's in P2 right now, so technically he could actually be getting P2 since Benefic is not in our session. Yeah, well, he'll have to get at least 2 points, but with the pace that he's showing currently, he's got more than enough pace to get 2 points, I think, with a P8 finish as.
Even if finishes last,
since we have since we have a 8-car grid, just need to finish the race and he'll get that P2. And it's Carlos Fernandez. Do we have Carlos? We do have Carlos in the session. He's P6. He's at 100. Yeah, he's at 93. Sorry, so 5 points behind Daniel, but he needs to find a lot of pace compared to what he got right now. He's 2.2 seconds off the pace from Daniel. But of course, qualifying isn't done just yet. We have 30 seconds left. So he will more or less have to pull something out of pocket or whatever Carlos got. Then we have some other drivers that are not in our session currently, but I want to mention Adam. He's got 38 points. Let's see what He's competed in 2 races.
Did he race last week?
So he's competed in Alton and he's competed at Barcelona. And judging from the pace that he got right now, you can almost guess what he did in those 2 races. He's won both. He's got the point for fastest lap in both. So fortunately, he's not going to be able to compete for P1, but he's got more than enough pace to keep this grid interesting. Unless he's got too much pace, then it's not going to be very interesting, is it?
Enjoy the last race. Have a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, qualifying is done. So we have a little bit of time to just quick run through our grid. So it's, of course, Adam P1, Daniel P2, then it's Sebastian in front of Andy, P3 and 4 respectively. Then it's Kevin Stam. He's right behind Sebastian on the grid, but he's of course a little bit behind. Oh, who's that? The lights are out. Somebody's jumped that's Daniel that's jumped the entire grid. So he's most likely going to be serving a penalty. That confused me quite a bit that he already started as I was running through the grid. Anyway, Daniel is provisionally leading on track at least. Not seeing that he's got a penalty just yet, but then it's Adam in P2, then it's actually Sebastian in P3, still in that lovely pink livery that is confusing me quite a bit as well. But he's really close. He's pulling out and he's going to be going for a move up the inside. Yes, he looks for a big of luck up from Adam, but not to let Sebastian pass. So it's still a 2-3 position for those 2 drivers, and it's Kevin right behind Sebastian. So he's jumped Andy at the beginning of this race, but other than that, it is as it was at the beginning. A little bit of gap between all of them. Adam showing good pace through these two hairpins, and then it's final two right-handers before we go onto the start-finish straight. Final corner, and we've completed one lap in about 100 meters. It is still Daniel leading. I'm very confused as to why he has not gone into the pit and served some kind of penalty. But yeah, if he leads, he leads, and a win is a win. So let's not worry about that one too much, I guess. As we have Kevin, he didn't win in Formula 4, but he's gonna love to have a go at Formula 3, at least. That's what he's hoping for, of course. When you sign up for a session, you always want to win. Unless you're a Formula 1 driver and you're not in the fastest cars. But that's a different topic. We are in iRacing, where everybody gets to compete at equal ground.
Every driver wants to, regardless of what car they're driving.
Yeah,
Of course, we love the battle here between Carlos and Andy. Those two drivers. I'm not quite sure who's getting on top. It is. And is it Andy? Yeah, Andy getting on top of that battle.
The lock up there is side by side now.
17, right?
Carlos is car number 17.
Yep. Okay, I'm looking at wrong numbers in my standing. That's why I'm confusing myself.
As expected, Daniel.
And there you go.
Now.
There you go, Daniel.
Yeah.
Naughty boy.
Oh,
that's what you get. Oh, and it's a spin. Is that Carlos?
Andy.
No, that is not Carlos. That is Andy, yeah. So once again, having a bit of a moment at the final corner. He's had that in Formula 4 as well. Let's see.
Yeah,
it just goes out a little bit too wide onto the gravel. Nice save, and keeping it out of the wall. Looked like he managed to turn it around as well without any major damage. Oh, without any damage, of course. His tires are not gonna like that one, are they? As we keep on going, and the standings are as we expected. Now that Daniel's gone into the grid, into the pits, sorry, it is Adam leading from Sebastian. Just about a second. Yeah, it's
I just noticed that.
What livery is that? Is that a
Barbie?
My Little Pony?
Barbie.
Oh, it's a Barbie. It's a Barbie. Yeah, sorry.
It's brilliant.
My video feed is a bit pixelated, so I couldn't read that one. It looked like Nine Cat for a moment. So, but a Barbie livery. That's the beauty of racing online.
It's Barbie. Yeah, it's Barbie.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a GT3 series actually when he drove that. He had a Lightning McQueen livery on his Porsche.
Oh yeah, don't remind me of that one. The curse one.
You just see the smile with the front bumper.
Yeah.
Give me
the eyes at the top of the front screen. Yeah.
Well, it looks like Adam's starting to pull away. He was dominant in the qualifying, and now he's starting to stamp his authority. I thought Sebastian would be a little bit more closer to him, but Adam seems to be a pretty decent driver. He's got the pace, but can Sebastian catch him?
Yeah, 2 for 2 in the races that he's participated in, with the fastest lap, of course. I think that would make you a pretty decent driver, I think. But of course, let's not take anything away from Adam. He's driving superbly. So having a beautiful race these first 5 minutes at least. Gap not as big as we would have expected. 1.8 through 5 minutes. Of course, it's a significant gap, isn't it? It's not something you close on a single lap, unless your name is Adam and you're chasing down someone that's significantly faster. Talking about, not talking about going slow. That's
talking about something though.
It's a bit of bullying. Oh, who's that in the background?
Happens to thought.
Brian went past Andy. That's why I wanted to say.
Gets on the curb on the inside and that takes him down.
Oh.
That was very close on exit as well.
Yeah. Nice of Thor to lock the brakes.
Just unbeatable. He's in the zone right now. He's absolutely loving life.
It's one of those days where you're just flying. Nobody can touch you. Not even if you've just had perhaps not the race of your life, but a really good race in the Formula 4. Lovely to see Adam. Hopefully he'll join some of our other series. We have the new GT3 series coming up.
Ew.
Just about a week's time, I believe.
10th of June.
10th of June.
Friday,
So
10th of June.
yeah,
Which
it's
myself
10 days.
will be racing.
Bit more than you'll be.
I will be there.
So not only do you get to listen to Brody, you get to see what he's capable of doing on track as well. And if you want to,
Sebastian spun.
oh, there's Sebastian spun.
Indeed, yeah.
Final corner. That's unfortunate. Let's hope he doesn't get out in front of anyone. No, he's
Dude, you can
get
see
it done safely. Big enough gap to not lose too much time. It's Carlos. Carlos actually in P2 right now.
Just seen
Oh yeah, just carrying a bit too much speed into the final corner, isn't it? Cause a little bit of a wheel spin. I see us in the row with no grip whatsoever. Thor trying to catch up to Carlos.
Sorry, I didn't go back live there. No.
Carlos, what happened to Carlos? He was P2 just a moment ago. Then we had to look at the replay from Sebastian's spin, and then
I don't know.
then he's just gone. Can we perhaps get in?
Oh, yeah, no, I've got
Get a replay. See, so we have Carlos. This is turn 1 that we are exiting right now. Then we're going into turn 2. Let's see, turns in.
Yep,
Touch
turning inside.
curve. Yeah.
Lifts the car.
Yeah.
A bit too much. Looks like he put his foot on the accelerator a little bit too early and back end spun out on him.
I think getting on the curb made the car a bit light. That took all the air from underneath it. Obviously, less traction that way, which causes the spin.
Unfortunate from Carlos.
Indeed.
But now he gets some action. He's being chased down by P5 and P6 at the same time, so they're just about a second within each other actually. So may see some nice battling between those two. They've shown that they can do it in the Formula 4, so let's see what they are capable of. In Formula 3, it's more power, but give us some better racing as well. Some would argue, at least. Faster cars, faster attacks, something like that.
Not even, well, we're just about to get to halfway in this race. And Adam has got an almost 12-second lead over the rest of the field. I have not seen that.
Yeah, Sebastian is of course fun. That does help him immensely. But I'll agree. I'm not taking anything away from Adam. 12 seconds is it's a decent gap. It's a really decent gap.
It reminds you almost of Michael Schumacher in his prime. Just no one can get close.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton 19, 18. Though she are maybe not 19 a bit more than 18, but just the dominance in itself. It's incredible that some people can just go in the same car as you, and then they're significantly faster, and you're left wondering what am I doing wrong? Of course, it's the same machinery. Not sure. I don't think it's fixed setup, so could be some setup changes. But is that a second
series? Which would possibly more likely be the reason why we're seeing Adam having the gap he has. But obviously, it's the same car. It's how you set it up. That's how you get your advantage. Not only that, if you've got the ability as a driver to get the maximum out of it, or what you feel's comfortable.
It's not only the setup, is it? It's about making a setup that suits you and your driving style. And if you are capable of doing that, then you can get a car that's really quick, and that's just from you being confident in it and knowing what you can expect when you turn the wheel and press the brake.
You could have a really fast setup, but it could feel like to you as a driver that it's always on edge. You know, it's getting really, really sketchy at the back end. It always wants to step out, always wanting to crash itself. I don't want that as a driver. you won't have confidence in the car to really drive it the way you want. Just like you said, just feeling a bit more comfortable in the car. The setup might not be the fastest, but you'll be able to get more laps out of it without crashing.
Yeah, the last thing you want is the car driving you around, rather than you driving the car.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's what we're seeing right now, Adam controlling his car as if it was a dog. 13 seconds we are up to now. As I look at my timing screen, it's still Sebastian in P2, followed by Brian. Where did Andy go? Andy's fallen back.
Andy
Oh yeah, he had a spun. He had a spun,
he's
that's right.
been down the main straight.
So yeah, Brian P2, he's 7 seconds behind Sebastian, so of course we are not taking anything away from Adam. He's having an incredible race, but Sebastian is having some really nice pace as well. Not quite up there with Adam, but their fastest lap is a 22.55 for Adam, and then a 22.99. So it's just shy of half a second,
I don't know if
which is
Kevin's
still a
got
lot, but
some
it's
damage,
close enough.
But he's not really there in terms of pace, despite having just set his personal best time for 1:23.5.
Yeah, never mind. It's Adam goes fastest.
Yep.
Yeah, so now it is at more than half a second. But I know that Sebastian may not always be the one that does the most practice, so that has a role to play in these kind of cars where you need to be confident in it and know what to expect at all times. It's it is not random that that these cars are one of the stepping stones to the pinnacle of racing that is Formula 1. Little battle here at the back. Thor is trying to go for a move on Carlos. Gonna go for the outside, trying to look for the cutback. Ooh, bit of luck from Carlos as Thor goes to the outside. Not quite getting alongside, but he's still there. Still battling.
A little bit. Oh, that's really aggressive through that there. That last corner there, just gone. Close to battle on track at the moment.
Yeah, we still have 3 cars that's within 2 seconds of each other, so nice to see that they're still having fun. Sure, Adam is having fun as well, leading out there by 15 seconds, but it's not the same as fighting someone and knowing that you got out on top because of your driving skills. It's in a different way, at least.
Daniel Geronimo looking to join this battle after his stop and go penalty for jumping the start.
Yeah, there's been some decent racing. Sebastian cannot make the deficit up against Adam, so it's at the back really where we're watching. We're on with 4 at the moment, and he's trying to catch back Carlos after trying to... who's behind him now? Andy. Andy's quite close to him as well, looking for a piece of the action. Can he take him though?
Alright.
So we're seeing in the background, I think it's Daniel Geronimo that's coming up on the end of Andy, so we might get a little bit of a battle here at the end. Let's see. 5 minutes left of our first race here, and then we'll of course have the reverse grid. Gonna be interesting to see how that one turns out. Let's see if Sebastian and Kevin that we saw have some nice defensive moves are able to translate that into these Formula cars.
I've just noticed the entire grid is going to get reversed because there's only 8 drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's going to be something to watch. Kevin be on pole position. Our train here. I believe Brian's just up the road. Well, now.
Yeah, 3 seconds to Brian. So of course he's within reach, but a bit too far ahead, I think. These guys.
Daniel.
The time left. Ooh, a little bit of a move from Andy.
Andy was looking, but Daniel was also looking as well.
Oh, he's looking all right. He's definitely looking. Daniel is pushing.
Pushing hard. Andy seems to be a bit on edge with that car at the moment. Doesn't seem to be under him as he'd like. Daniel sends it down the inside while he's looking to. Oh, did he make contact?
No,
He's just okay,
nearly, but it was close. Oh, he's pushing really hard now. This little battle here towards the end.
He's doing everything, trying to take as many points as he can.
Yeah.
Never so close. Thought he was going to have Andy's gearbox for breakfast there. Or lunch or dinner, wherever you are in the world. Oh, Andy defended. Not enough, though.
He took him.
Bang it down the inside. Thor with a lock up in front. Maybe a bit of a distraction. But that move has been signed, sealed and delivered.
Yep. Can he catch 4? The way he's driving, there's a good chance he can.
Indeed. No reason for him not to. And Andy spins in the background. Bit too eager on the power, I think, just trying to get back closer. Not really happened for him this evening. There we go. Daniel really giving it everything.
Boy, he's pushing
using
it to the
all
limit.
of the track and more. Don't really want to be.
He's not that far behind 4, and he seems to be catching him. And
close enough.
there might be a chance he might take. He's trying to move.
He's done it.
He's gone for it. Ooh! Has he lost it? Yeah, he lost
it's
it.
not come off for him though.
Yeah.
And he spins.
Good driving by him, but unfortunately he went for a reckless move, and that's him out of that little battle there.
Nice to see that they still have the balls to go for the moves. It's not always that we see drivers go for the move out the inside. So as long as you don't hit your opponent, then it's always nice to see an opportunistic move. And if you manage to pull it off, then it's even better. But ending off in the gravel is not an ideal situation at any point. But it is what it is, and it's a learning experience that Daniel will take with him until the next race, I think.
Indeed.
Talking about next race, we have 5 seconds left. Or where is Adam on track? He must be relatively close to the finish. So if we get a look
this will be the last lap.
At Adam,
20-minute markers.
as he comes here into the final 2
couple corners now.
hairpins, 3 corners left.
That's Kevin in front of him.
Oh yeah.
I think Kevin go down. Well, a lap less. I mean, he's still going for it. Anyway, Adam wins the final.
I think it's gonna hurt his ego too much.
Formula 3.
So it's pole, race 1, and unless Sebastian has something to say, then it's gonna be a fastest lap for Adam as well. Dominating races. That's not really anything else to say to Adam. Ooh. Does he
And
get it out of the
that's
wall? Oh,
right rears off. Yeah.
fortunate. Yep. That's a DNF.
And so it's realised the wheels off.
Almost at the safe though, but fortunately just a bit too much speed towards the wall on the left side. So we got Sebastian and Thor over the finish line as well. See Andy. Where does he come? Comes there, and it's Carlos, Kevin as our last man now that Daniel is out. So yeah, just running us through this first race, it is Adam that takes the win, then it's followed by Sebastian, who's not had an as dominant race as Adam, but still great pace from our Formula 4 champion. Then it's Thor, followed by Andy. Then it's Brian, Carlos, and Kevin Stan rounding up the finishing drivers. And then it's a DNF from Daniel, who will get revenge here in the second race as we get a reverse quit. So if you remember the 8 drivers that I just named, it's just reverse from that one. So it's, of course, Daniel that we saw crash here at the first corner on his final lap. That's going to be starting from pole position, followed by Kevin. Gets some redemption once again, and it's Carlos, Brian, Andy, Thor, and then our 2 fast guys in Sebastian and Adam. And let's see if Adam is able to get a last to first finish. Certainly he has the pace to do so, but he'll have to car through 7 cars. Let's see, they're on the grid.
Indeed.
When the light's going to go
Just
on.
waiting for Andy Tapman now to grade up. He's on the grid. There we go.
So lights are coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 5 lights. Let's see. There it goes.
They're out and we're off.
And everybody goes, oh, loads of
Sebastian
has to
gets
contact
flipped.
this off. He's flying up onto the roof. So
then he's out.
it went from amazing
And
to
that front
horrible
row
in
goes off
split
track.
second. Then
Oh,
it's
oh,
Daniel
this-
off. And
Oh, he's got his comment on here. My word.
Daniel and Thor. Daniel's still in P4, so Andy, Kevin, and Thor has had an incident. We've not even gone through turn 1, and there's 3 drivers into the pit. It's Kevin, Andy, and Sebastian. Sebastian we saw. Let's see if we can get the replay from the other 2.
That has got to be the most eventful first lap I have witnessed.
That was a roller coaster for everybody, I think.
So Sebastian gets a good start.
It's a really good one.
Bump
Just
wheels.
tangles with Thor.
Yeah, he doesn't see Thor there.
The bump wheels got there, and then that's it. He tipples over and there's
Not much he can do. They both get a good start and want to go for the gap in the middle, but yeah, goes a bit too wide out, and then it's 2 wheels hitting each other. Talking about Adam, he's started P8. He's P3 as it stands. It's not even been a full lap. We have 2 laps left. 2 corner steps, sorry, before we completed the first one. Don't think he'll get a move done before that one, but it's still 5 positions that he's gained in the span of 1 lap. Sorry, he's close enough to get into P2. I think if he is brave enough to go for the sim, he is not going to be brave enough, so he stays behind Adam for the moment. No, he stays behind Brian, sorry, for the moment, as he goes for the outside move into turn 3 and doesn't quite make a stick, but he's still on the inside, just
I'm just going to interrupt
at
just
the
to
rear
point
wheel.
out, these 4 cars are the only cars on track.
Is it? Oh no!
Thor, Kevin, Andy, and Sebastian are all in the pits.
Yeah, Thor is just pitting.
Oh right. Well, Adam's jumped into P2 now, and
They're under a bit of pressure.
dare I say he'll be chasing
They're
down
going 3
P1.
wide.
What's going to happen?
3 wide to the hairpin, almost getting sandwiched.
Oh,
Adam comes out
and Daniel-
victorious. And Daniel.
and you guys got to P3.
And all this is letting Carlos stretch out a little bit of a lead. I don't think that'll last for too long from what we've seen. Adam's just on a different level of driving today.
Yeah, he's was quick in the first race, and now in the second race he seems to be just as quick, and he's catching Carlos, and dare I say, he'll be overtaking Carlos if he carries on like this.
Looks like he's going to do it.
He's got the quickest lap at the moment as well with a 1:24.435.
Odd. Watch the magician with his tricks. Eking the pressure out a little bit. Not forcing anything, just trying to let Carlos know he's there. He's in a slipstream.
Oh yeah, Carlos definitely knows he's there.
There's
He
the
locked
mistake.
up Carlos. There's a move.
That's the pass.
And
or is it? That's almost
yeah,
sideways from Adam there, but
yeah, he's got him.
yes, that's
That was a good bit of driving there. But look who's behind. Daniel trying to move as well.
he's looking at the inside, forcing Carlos to leave him space. Oh, just a little bit trigger happy on the throttle there. See now, Thor's come back out on track. They call the other guys, they're just there now, coming back on track, so they're going to be a lap down. Just about a hit. The quarter of... I've got something saying Andy's crashed. What happened then? All tyres? All tyres. And the others do well to avoid. So just take your eyes off this battle. I thought Andy got absolutely slammed into, but
Adam in P1 gained 7 positions with Daniel. Right behind him dropped a position because he started in first, and Carlos in P3.
These two drivers, Carlos and Daniel, have shown good glimpses of speed throughout the entire season from where they've raced.
He's not messing around, Adam. 1:22.638.
Not here to play, he's here for serious business.
Yeah.
This man's stamping his authority on the okay. I assume this
So
is
looks
next
like
season.
if it carries on as it is, it look like we're gonna have a back-to-back Canadian 1 and 2 in the first race and the second, and if he carries on as it stands, no mistakes.
I think that's all will be. Ule, Adam in the standings. Sorry.
Yeah, Adam, he is a P11, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, he's got 38 points, as I mentioned. He's got 2 wins to his name, so that's 19 points because he got that fastest lap.
So he got 12 for the last race. That puts him on 50. He does the same again, which
I think the point system is a bit different from Formula 3.
No, it's the same, I think.
Okay, and then you can get a maximum of 19 both races, or what? How does I'm not sure how that makes sense, because if you got the fastest lap 2 times, then it's gonna be that's 17, and then the maximum point you'll be able to get would then be 8.5, sorry. So I'm a bit confused as to how the system works for Formula 3, but he is P12, sorry. He's just behind Mario Nicholas, who's at 40 points. So I think nonetheless he's going to be able to jump these standings quite a bit. Let's say he's get 19 points. He's going to be going up to 57. Sorry, that will let him become 9th in the championship.
I got told at the start of the season that the points was the same for both series. 10th for first, 1 for 10th. And point difference in between counting down. And then 2 points. Fastest lap.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't first in both races, and I'm just assuming that he's as fast as he is right now. Then the maximum would be 22, right?
24. 12 for
24.
each. 2 wins is 20. 10 each,
Oh.
and then 2 points.
Oh,
Races.
12. 12 for a win.
Yeah, including your fastest lap.
Oh.
I got a little.
Yeah, he just spun out.
Great times coming out. Final head.
It's not good. Not gone good for Sebastian behind this
Not in
race.
Formula 3.
Nope.
Obviously, season champion in Formula 4. Oh, going at it. Field's pretty calm at the moment, pretty spread out. Nothing happening too much. We're watching the battle for last place.
I can see that apart from our usual viewer, Naked HD, we got Elsa in the chat as well, who says that regret is last, and a laughing emoji. Yeah, I'm not sure if Elsa was here at the beginning of the race, but if you were, and you would have seen what happened to regret at the beginning, it was not pretty. Let's put it like that.
And that's Andy Tapman spinning again. You like spinning out of that corner? I've noticed that. Not the greatest thing. These two just having a little bit of fun here. They do have some fast cars approaching that.
Is Kevin being nice to Sebastian and just letting
I
him?
think they've both been nice to Andy actually.
Yeah.
On a bit of
Oh.
racing. Yeah, they both waited for him. They've gone back racing again.
So they've realized that they perhaps, in any way, just have a nice fight with each other. That's lovely to see as well. If you're not gonna be going for a win, then you might as well just try and and battle with your friends. Have some fun.
Enjoy
Exactly.
the rest of the race, isn't it? Yeah.
See, we are then gonna be led here in this battle for P6 by Kevin Stam. Then he's going a bit long. He's lost it. Manages to save it. Oh, and it's a slight tap with Andy there, but not enough to get damage. And then it's Sebastian coming back. But then he goes slow. Sebastian is going slow. What's happening? He's just waiting for the else, I think. Doesn't want to take the lead. What is a friend? Andy leading us down the main straight for our 6th lap. He's leading into turn 1. It's Kevin right behind him. He's going to be looking for a move. Is he going to be going for a move into the hairpin, or will he wait a little bit and try and go for a move at the hairpin at the end of the back straight? So we get a replay from Thor. Let's see what's happened.
See what happens to Thor. Japanese driver racing his home country.
Spins out.
Oh,
good save though.
Oh, and that's a tap.
There. A large badger there.
From my view. Andy with the big laugh up. These three providing the great entertainment for us. Just get us through these 20 minutes. Hard behind there.
Good take.
That's your Formula 4 champion. Tokyo drifting.
A little bit of wobble there. About the final hairpin. These two right-handers. Kevin is not waiting for them. He's pulling a... Yeah, it's a slight gap. Then Andy's going for move. Looks for the inside anyway. Not gonna go for it.
He wanted to, but the
So
car
I just said
didn't.
the money. Yeah, you...
The car was like, I'm not doing
There was a
that
thought
today.
somewhere. Somewhere in this track there's no overtake. But I think it's gonna be Adam when he comes around once again and laps the other guys.
Starting a lap. Daniel's only just... He's miles away. Even though the timing says it's almost 6 seconds away.
So we get to get another view of our leader Andy coming down this back straight for the 10th time around. Fun fact: this is actually the halfway point of this circuit. See on my my standing. If anybody was wondering about that one, then we get two left-handers. Can be tricky if you don't get them right. You'll end up in the gravel, and if you are going in too fast, you'll end up in a barrier, and that is not ideal if you want to keep on going. Andy, final two hairpins before we cross this line once again. Do you want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors? So we have Major Garage, the Brody, or Kevin, one of you. Would you like to talk a bit about Major Garage and what they do?
Well, our sponsor, I don't think I don't know the information on them actually.
We'll give it to Brody then. Is it a so it's of course it's a setup service, so you can subscribe to Major's Garage and then you can get some nice setups
You can.
that
Yes.
can make you go really fast.
So they provide different subscription plans. You can buy what I use, All Series Pass, and then I think that was... that was $90, but that gives you access for 12 calendar months to any setup you want. So you could literally buy the All Series Pass and download every single setup. So you've got it there.
Question: what link is that? Do you have the link for it as well?
Isn't it the code that we're using? ASR? I'm asking because I actually don't know.
I'm not 100% sure.
Hasn't been. We have it on our website though, antistallracing.com. You can get all the information about not only our Formula 3 race, Formula 4 that we just had, but also the GT3 coming up. The prices for that one and the entry fee, I believe, is still €5, and of course, that is money that you are paying, but in return you get the chance to win those money back and even win more money
Exactly.
I'll be.
if you're fast enough.
Yeah, the GT3 League. I'm actually in that one as well.
So we actually have two GT3 drivers right here in our commentator booth, and I could be tempted to ask what so we have a
yeah,
nice little fellow.
They still play well.
Andy,
Yeah,
tangling with Kevin.
The GT3 League.
The league,
Which
yeah.
starts on June the 10th. Is £10. Was it euros? €10
€10,
entry.
yeah, €10.
So that works out to English. That works out to be about £8.
Yeah, 8 Great British pounds.
Yeah. And as the calendar says, 10th of June. Right.
Just about
right,
75 Danish crowns if you wanted that currency as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But what does it give you? What does the GT3 racing give you that you don't get anywhere else?
Gives you the chance to obviously win your money back.
Yeah, so prize-wise, based on 45 entries, first place would be €90, second 75, third 50, fourth 25, fifth 20, sixth 15, seventh to 10th 10. So basically, if you're in the top 10, you can earn back your money what you paid or more.
Exactly. And another thing to note, prize-wise, if you enter and compete in every single race over the calendar, you'll be entered into a raffle. And then the prize for this raffle is to work on a livery with a designer. So they will design, work with you on a livery of your choice for a car of your choice. You have to enter and compete in every single race from June the 10th, 2022 through August 12th, 2022.
Yep. Yep.
Season 2.
I mean, I would race them all, but I am not going to race Mount I used to say Parrot, but it's Bathurst.
Mount Panorama,
I
Bathurst.
can't get to grips with that track at all.
The Australian Nürburgring, as I see it.
Yep.
It's a lovely track, though. I'll have to say it's tricky. It most certainly is, but you're on the edge the entire time. I remember doing the 12-hour race, and it's you don't really think about how concentrated you are until you start losing that concentration, and suddenly you have a bit of a moment, and then you just think to yourself that, hey, maybe I should start concentrating as well. And then
literally the moment you have a wall inside your car, that's when you
exactly that's
yeah, it's literally like that on that track. It's crazy.
that's when reality hits you.
Yeah,
that you're out of the race.
And it's, for me, if for you on that track, are you similar to me when you go up the hill? It's that double left. That's where I just can't fathom that for some reason on that particular track.
Oh yeah, so that's I like to say that's the trickiest part of the track. If you have a loose setup, then you're straight into the wall. If you can't control the car, yeah, you need to get it just right, and then you can, of course, depending on the car and the setup, you can play a bit with the throttle. Just like you wouldn't in a go-kart. And these cars, to an extent, as we talk about cars, we get Andy over the line for his second win of this Formula 3 race. Not only does he get the win, he gets the fastest lap as well. So a 122.51, which is more than half a second. No, it's actually not. It's a 4/10 quicker than Daniel's. Or 41 hundredths to be exact. From my timings away, and then it's Daniel P2, Brian P3. Actually, a pretty good race from Daniel, I must say. Was helped by 4 drivers dying at the start of the race. Carlos P4, Thor P5. He's the first one of the lap cars to cross the line. And then we have Kevin, Andy, and Sebastian. They're out of the race, unfortunately. But yeah, that's our race. Final race of the season. And that rounds up both the F4 and F3 that we've had.
It does indeed.
Yes. What a nice way to round it up. Lovely racing in both classes, I must say.
Been absolute. It's just been 100% from the first start of the first season at Watkins Glen. If you'd like to look back at the races that we've broadcasted, please feel free to browse through our YouTube channel. If you'd like to get involved yourself, join our Discord, discord.antistoleracing.com. You can see there on screen. I assume the F3 and F4 series will be back. Bigger and better. More drivers getting interested, as well as we run our F1 series as well. F1 is on Mondays, Tuesdays for F3 and F4, and then Fridays is your GT3 series.
Free. Yep.
Indeed. I think we already have over 20 drivers for the GT3 series, so if you want to get your place now. Go onto our Discord, or even onto our website, where you can pay the entry fee of €10. That'll enter you for the season. Like I said, enter
12
all
races.
races.
Mhm.
You get entered into a raffle. You're drawn out of that. You get to work on a livery of your choice with a designer on the car of your choice. Completely free. And obviously, the chance of earning your money back there is as well with the prize money. Prize pool. But yeah, it's only just a start for what we do here, and you guys can make it better. So come on, join us. Anything?
Yeah, of course. We mentioned that you just have to end up in the top 3 to get essentially win your money back in the GT3. So what that means is, if you join now, you are going to be the 21st cars, and then you just have to end up in the better half of the grid, which of course you want to win,
I'm
but
at the moment.
top 10 isn't. It's not super difficult
It's possible.
if you're a good driver. So a lot of opportunities to win your money back, and perhaps even more, and a personal design if you wish so.
Yeah, on that note, I'd like to say to that on the GT3 series, which I'm looking forward to, I'll be racing in that myself, but also I'll be actually commentating with some of the commentators while I'm racing. So you might not hear me say something, and you might hear me say I'm behind somebody and I'm going to catch him or pass him. So something different to add.
I'll be joining you on that one. Joining in the championship. Looking forward to a good season. Just looking at the calendar, we're going to an array of tracks. We start the Rebel Ring in Austria.
Yep.
It's Bathurst, Monza, Hungaroring, Spa. Then we have like sort of an American section. We go to Long Beach, Daytona, Road Atlanta, Road America, and then finale at Watkins Glen.
See, that last section, yeah, that's a section I'm looking forward to. Road
Me too.
Long Beach, really good track. Daytona,
Yeah.
I like it. Road American, Road Atlanta, and Watkins Glen. Wow, them 3 tracks I do really like.
We like them, and we can guarantee everyone who watches this, if you're not into GT3 series, try it out. Come and watch us. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. But I can guarantee there's going to be some interesting stuff there, and you do not want to miss it. I think. Go on, you going to say something?
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, if you're involved in iRacing and you want to get into some serious, constructive, good racing, for me, GT3 is the one to be racing in. That's where it's all happening. I'm not saying the other ones are not happening, but I like GT3, and it seems to be happening the most in there. So I would say try it out as well.
Need so, but I think now is the time for us to love you and leave you. It's been a pleasure. We will be back next season. But for myself, Kevin, and Ule, it's bye-bye for now.